Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mind that little false start there in the beginning. Every once in a while, you gotta just, jump out of the gate.
They're not even going to know.
They are. They are going to know. They won't after the fact. But anyways, I am Chris Zane.
And I'm Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, this is episode 93 of Fringe Fanatics.
That's right.
7 weeks away from big old 100.
Crossing the milestone.
Yes, indeed we are. Well, we're
Getting
here
through the summer.
Yes, it's hot. It's supposed to be hot all week.
Yeah.
We apparently just found out on the air index we are ranked in the top 8 worst air.
It's not looking good
in the world.
Everybody talks about how beautiful the mountains are out here. I don't know what they're talking about. I can't see them.
The sun does look cool when it's going
It does.
down.
It looks like a sun from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like we live on Tatooine.
Yeah, good old Tatooine.
Yeah.
But yes, we are here, episode 93, and as we have been doing for every episode, not every episode, but for most of them for a while, we have been dedicating the episode to the player that best wore that number. And today, it's just fitting, because we didn't even plan this.
Yeah.
John Randle is the 93 player of the episode, if you will. He also happens to be a Vikings player, which later on in the episode we will be having Luke Braun joining us of the Locked On Vikings podcast. We were going to have him on a couple weeks ago, but it didn't end up working out. But look at this, how serendipitous. We have John Randle.
It was meant to be.
Meant to be, indeed.
Sure was.
So John Randle, former defensive tackle, played 11 seasons in the NFL. Sorry, I lied. 11 seasons for the Minnesota Vikings and 3 seasons for the Seattle Seahawks of the National Football League. He was a 6-time first-team All-Pro and 7-time Pro Bowler. Since becoming an official stat in 1982, his 137.5 sacks ranked 10th, tied with Richard Dent, and first among defensive tackles. On February 6, 2010, he was voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He played college football for the old Trinity Valley Cardinals and the Texas A&I Javelinas. He was signed by the Vikings as an undrafted free agent. I did not know that. I thought he went drafted, but I guess undrafted.
Yep.
After the 1990 NFL draft, he is considered one of the greatest undrafted players of all time.
Wow, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Coming from college that nobody's heard of.
Dude, we all love the Trinity Valley Cardinals, and if you've been playing NCAA college football, you could probably start a dynasty with them if you would like.
Yeah, if you've ever heard of them. Well, his professional career, Randle went undrafted. He tried out for his brother's team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but was thought to be too small and was not signed to a contract. He was 6'1", 244 pounds. Wow, that is really small for a D tackle. Yeah, well, Randle played his first season in 1990, then went to his first Pro Bowl in 1993 after recording 11.5 sacks and quickly became one of the most dominant tackles of his era. Once Henry Thomas left the Vikings, Randle increased his training regimen. Randle would record double-digit sacks during 9 different seasons, including 9 different seasons. That is really impressive. Including a career-high, league-leading 15.5 sacks in 1997. And in a 1999 game against the 49ers, he recorded his only career interception.
Look at that, dude.
Wow.
You got those D tackles.
Still got the hands.
You got to get one, just
impressive. Well, let's reel off his
highlights and awards. Like I mentioned just a second ago, 6-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowl, 93 through 98 and 2001. NFL sacks leader in 1997. NFL 1990s All-Decade Team, NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team. He's in the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor. He's also one of the 50 greatest Vikings. Skol, Skol, Skol. Minnesota Vikings 40th Anniversary Team, and he's a first-team NAIA All-American in 1988.
So probably not NCAA.
No, whatever the NAIA is.
It's Division
so,
III.
Yeah, he is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame. So,
well, hats off to you, John Randle.
Yes.
I learned something new today.
Skol. Indeed.
Skol.
It is nice. We've always said just learning new things about these guys.
That's right.
You know the overview. But
brushing up on our history, man.
Nice to get a deep a deep dive into there.
So 93, chipping away.
Chipping on away. Well, like we mentioned, Luke Braun is going to be joining us around 8:05. We are recording later because of trying to get things synced up. That was when he was available. So that is when we are recording because we like to make ourselves available, you know?
Yep.
Availability is the best ability. So we're going to run the show like we used to. Just, you know, we're going to run through all of the stuff, and then we're going to have a guest, and it's going to be special and amazing.
It's going to work out.
It's going to work out.
Looking forward to hearing about a little Viking stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, it is time for headlines.
Wait.
Oh,
Chris,
we need to
how
talk
was your
about our
weekend?
weekends.
Yeah.
Holy crap. See what happens when things change?
Get
I
thrown
all
around.
fucking thrown off.
Yep, I'm dying to know,
damn
man.
it, I just cussed, and we're only 5 minutes in. Damn it.
Oh, well.
We're screwed. There goes our money. Guess we're going to work tomorrow. My weekend was pretty good. Kind of laid back. Saturday, didn't do too much. Started watching Receiver.
Yeah, that's good. How far did you make it?
I think I got to the third or fourth episode.
Okay.
Takeaways. George Kittle, real likable guy.
Man, he is pretty cool.
You're like, I want to be friends with him.
Have you got to the episode with his grandma yet?
No, I don't
It's
think
cool.
so.
Yeah, it's like, damn, dude. After that episode, I'm like, you're just the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Man. He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Surprises. I like Devontae Adams a lot more than I thought I would.
I was really impressed with how smart he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's good friends with Aaron Rodgers and all that, but like, it kind of makes sense. And you really get to see his friendship with Aaron Rodgers and how close they are too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much he hated Josh McDaniels.
Oh, man. He did not like him.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Anytime you hear about Josh McDaniels, everybody like is the worst experience of my life.
Pretty good show, though.
Yeah, it is really good. It's, an Omaha production, so it's real good.
You know who's also a producer of that show? Have you
Who's
noticed?
that?
Mahomes.
Oh, is he?
So there was some Raiders. I saw a post that they were really pissed that they didn't show. And, dude, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of a sly move by Mahomes, but it's like, damn, dude, it's tough to leave that out.
He's invested into Omaha Productions.
I'm sure that's what it is because it's like an associated producer or whatever it is, like to where you just. It's not like he had any hand in it. He just gave him money, but probably enough to be like, hey, leave out that Christmas game.
Oh.
Because, some Raiders games were like so mad that they left that out. It's like that was a huge game for them.
Yeah, it was.
To not even
that is
put
pretty
it in
funny,
there.
though.
Yeah.
Other than that, what else did we do? I started playing an F1 game, and I got for free through like Xbox Game Pass. It's F1 23.
Is it good?
It is pretty good.
Nice.
I partake in some, and then I get really zoned in to just ripping around the track.
That's fun, man. Hell yeah.
And now I'm like thinking about like I need to get like a racing wheel or something. And then I'm gonna go over to Josh's house and be like, let me play your fucking simulator. Driver Josh Harris.
Oh, he has a. Oh yeah, he does have a simulator.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk him into like hosting the fights for the UFC's Fear event and whatever that is, like September, I think, so that I want to go over there and check out that simulator.
Oh yeah. I do want to check it out now, especially since I've been playing this game.
Yeah, dude, racing games are sick.
They are fun, but it's not as cool playing with a controller. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
It's also it's a lot. It's very realistic, and they've got like a cool like story mode.
Cool.
Where it's like you're like a fake racing team trying to make it and shit. And there's
dude, have you seen the trailer for F1? What do you think of it?
F1, the movie that's coming out with Brad Pitt. I haven't seen it. No,
I can't believe I watched this, man. It is looks excellent, like just totally legit. Like they, as you've seen, they've been filming throughout the season and stuff. They use like there's pictures of Haas. It's Haas, right?
Haas, yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, Max Verstappen, everybody. It's just like if they made an NFL movie and used the NFL players.
They were talking about it during the races when they were out there filming because they were like having to like run like laps with like the camera crews and stuff to film racing scenes and stuff. So.
Yeah, it looks really good and it's crazy. It's just like a nice simple title like F1.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Driven or something like that, but no,
it's not as good.
Keep
as
it nice and
Driven.
simple. That movie was awesome.
The only thing I remember from that movie is, and we've probably talked about this before, but when they're driving, that when he takes the F1 car down the street and Stallone's chasing him, and they whenever they go over the manholes, the like.
And things fly
they
off.
suck off.
Yeah.
And I think I actually heard something about them having to weld the manholes
Yeah,
down.
remember because in Vegas, one of them came up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's right. So
That was a cool movie, though.
Yeah, it was a cool movie. Driven. There's also that other good one with one of the Hemsworths.
I haven't seen that. I know what you're talking
It is a
about.
very good one.
Damn it, I know I can't think of the name of it,
man.
but yeah, I always have thought about watching that one.
I watched it a long time ago, and it's a very good movie.
All right,
It's
I'll put that
a
on the
movie.
list. Check that out.
Let's tell the people what it's called. Rush.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's about James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
Dude, racing movies are fucking good. There's a lot of racing movies I like. Did you ever watch Ford vs Ferrari?
I haven't seen that one,
Holy
but I heard
shit.
it was great. But
Gotta watch that
nothing is as good as
Days of Thunder. You know it, man. You know what a slingshot is? Just kidding behind there. Oh, that's such a good movie, man. What was his name? Not Bucky.
Cole Trickle.
Yeah, Cole Trickle. But then
There was an actual racer whose name was Dick Trickle, which I think is one of the funniest names I've ever heard.
Sounds like his parents just hated
it sounds
him.
like he might have a venereal disease as well.
Something just trickles out.
Dick Trickle. But yeah, I mean, driving movies are great.
Yeah.
What was the Gone in 30 Seconds? Dude, I love that
Gone
movie.
in 60 seconds?
60 seconds.
Yep. Fuck yeah, it was an awesome movie,
Yeah.
man. Memphis. I mean, the whole cast of that movie.
Yeah, Angelina
Nicolas Cage.
Jolie.
Yeah.
With those dreads.
With those white dreads, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, there's a bunch. I mean, I can't really think of the rest of them right now, but yeah.
It's hard when you're on the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the weekend.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights, great movie.
That is a racing movie.
But yeah, what else did we do? We finished watching something, and then we were gonna start watching something else. And now every time we do this, I always forget what we did over the weekend because it's not like we do anything cool. You know? Nothing great happens. We enjoy our time off.
Well, you did make a lot of nice, productive invites for the podcast. We got a lot of guests coming up here in the future, so that's
Sunday, cool. I spent most of the day as we were just hanging out, just trying to get more guests. Lock down, I think 3 or 4 guests.
Giants, Lions, Ravens. That's the ones I can think of.
Got some more feelers out to people. Also, we jumped up a bunch of subscribers on YouTube, so welcome. If you're watching this right now, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing, and tell your friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's give them some good content.
Yeah, let's do it. And we've been, hammering away on the content as well, and I think that's been doing us a lot of favors. So, we're just going to keep on keeping on.
That's
onward
right.
and upward.
Keep talking about sports. That's what we keep doing.
We do it anyways, so might as well do it here.
That's right.
But how was your weekend, sir?
That was fun. It was... I got a little bit of a curveball on Saturday night. Well, first off, on Friday, we went to Texas Roadhouse.
Hell yeah,
It was always good, man.
Dude,
Got them rolls.
The butter.
Yep. Oh, man, it was good. I got a full slab of ribs. Did not need it
You're
all.
out of your mind, dude.
Oh, man, I had so much leftovers, but yeah, that was a good time. So Saturday, we were going to go up to Red Rocks. We did.
Yeah, you did go.
Yep, and we went up there to go see my favorite band, STS9, and we see the opener, Dirt Wire, and they killed it. They just crushed it. It was a really good time. And then the rain started. And then so we hurry up, got the ponchos on. We're just thinking. And then the warning comes up on the screens that they're in a weather delay. And this happened like a month ago at Odessa, too. So we're thinking, okay, let's just wait out this 30 minutes. And then about 5 minutes later, it's like Hurricane Red Rocks just comes and slaps us in the face, man. The horizontal rain just comes through. I mean, the rain just hurt. It just slapped against you, dude.
Yeah.
And then, it just started pouring down, and it just started raining nonstop. It was like a disaster area where, like, 9,000 people just scurried everywhere to try to find shelter. I heard people were looking, hid in the caves, in the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just anywhere, We went and hid in the bathrooms, and we hang out there for a little bit. And then our friends, Blair and Aubrey, the dude that we had on last week, they were smart and got in the visitor center where there was a lot more room. So we go in there, we're chilling for a little bit. And then they canceled it. because we just got so dumped with so much rain they weren't going to continue.
Well, it seems like it didn't stop either. So
no, yeah, and it's like what I told you about that that news piece that I found out on Sunday that like we got more rain Saturday night in Denver than we got the entire month of June. So.
Which, it's crazy. We don't get much rain.
Yeah.
So.
In the whole month of
to
June.
do that in a night's wild.
It was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of crazy viral videos where there was like waterfalls going down the stairs. But, regardless, we had a really good time. We came back to the house, partied with the dogs, and stayed up late watching the live stream or the video that Odessa put out of like their concert from a while back. And, we made the best of it. So
nice.
That was cool.
Well, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, I guess.
Yeah, you got to turn that into some real good lemonade.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. What'd you do Sunday? Anything exciting?
Oh, man, we just had like a lazy day Sunday. We just kind of didn't really have much energy to do anything. And the air quality was horrible Sunday, man. It was just like looking like an apocalyptic movie outside. So we just walked the dogs around the block like twice, but we kind of just stayed in and watched movies. And she made the like shredded chicken crock-pot meal that we made like a while back, and I had to have her make it again. It was really good. But we did watch the old Twister movie.
The old one?
Yeah, to get ready for the new one.
Oh, yeah. I heard you guys talking about it today.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Well, Twisters.
Dude, Helen Hunt.
Or Twister.
Back in the day,
she was hot.
She was a fox, man.
Yeah.
She was pretty hot. Yeah.
She was.
Yeah, I hope she's in this new one. I don't think she is, but they should have put her
Dorothy
in there.
1 and Dorothy 2.
Yeah, they had 4 of them. Yeah, Dorothy 4.
Oh, yeah, that was the one that made it because the other ones all got
They all just kind of kept fucking up. I didn't really quite. It was
ping pong balls. It was
weird
so
how they did that whole thing, but I was like, all right, I'll buy into it. Whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty psyched for this new one because, being from Kansas, we had a lot of tornado warnings back in the day.
Well, I mean, speaking of tornado warnings in Red Rocks, I told you about my creepy Red Rocks story where I also got rained out. It was the last day of 5th grade, and we actually had like a tornado warning at school where we all had to go into the hallway. And it was like at the end of the day, too. And my mom like was coming to pick me up, and they're like, oh, there's like a tornado warning. And if you want to come get your kid, you can. So I got to leave a little bit early, and then I was going to the No Doubt concert with my brother Sean, and we ended up getting there, and it's been all crazy, stormy all day, and then the concert starts, and I don't even remember who the opening band was, but like I remember like seeing like an actual shock come off of this guy's guitar, like it was like wow. And he like stepped back, and then that was when they canceled the show. But I also got my first hickey from a chick that was like in her 20s that my brother was trying to hit on, and I was like 11. So that's weird.
That is kind of weird. But
we talked about
cool.
it the other day. I was like, it's cool, but like if it was the other way around,
it's totally different.
Not okay.
Yeah. But when you're a boy at that age, and then it happens with an older chick, it's like, all right, hell yeah. That's pretty badass. Good for that kid.
Yeah, it's still not right, but that's how we look. That's how we look at it.
Double-edged sword, but that's how it goes.
That's my sidebar there. But I think that wraps up the weekends.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's about it.
And then now we're
back
here.
to it. Back to real life. Back to reality.
Back to reality.
But we're getting close to some more football. Training camp has started.
Yes, training camp is here. I think the Broncos just had like their first like soft opening of training camp, but I did see everybody's freaking out about the Chiefs. Xavier Worthy caught a long touchdown pass, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!
I know.
They can throw the ball down the field."
Well, did you see? Yeah, I mean, believe me, it is just training camp. But if I saw the video that you're talking about, it's the one where he's rolling to his left. It was a pretty sick throw.
Well, he's rolling to his left, and then he throws it like
on his
basically crossbody back foot the other way, and hits Xavier Worthy on the run. It was an insane throw.
Yeah.
But still, I'm just
it is just training camp. I totally hear you. Yeah. I mean, man, there's a lot of stuff that could happen in training camp, and it's like that may not happen in the season, but I am pretty psyched for the Chiefs. They got a lot of speed. We'll see.
Speed.
Speaking of speed,
you guys are the new Raiders. Is he fast? Draft him.
Well, I was speaking of speed. It doesn't look like Rashee Rice is getting suspended.
Well, this year.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see.
Well, it's just like homework.
Push it down.
We'll put it down the line, man.
That's fine.
We'll take care of that later.
Definitely. Well, let's get into headlines.
Headlines. Get
Get your headlines here.
That's right. Get them here while they're hot. We got all of them. And we're going to start, as per the usual, with the old NFL. There's
rules all.
Yeah, there's not much happening, but a lot of people have made some money. So let's get into it.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Yes, and as always, we give you the business of football. And this week, a lot of business, Chad. Back up the old Brinks.
Hit it, Chris.
Here it comes. It's a slow burn.
Back and up.
Backing on up. People got paid this week.
Just run down the line. You hit one, then I'll hit the next.
All right. Vikings sign left tackle Christian Darrisaw, first-round pick in 2021, to a 4-year, $113 million deal with $43.7 guaranteed at signing, $77 million guaranteed total.
That's a lot of guaranteed money.
A lot. I mean,
Wow.
you see a lot of these guys getting drafted, getting guaranteed money now, which is insane.
Just keeps going up.
But yeah, so they've shored up the left side there. Got their guy for the next 4 years, which is good because, whether we'll find out later what the pulse there in Viking land is, but it does sound like Sam Darnold will be starting the beginning of the year, and we'll see if J.J. McCarthy...
I'm interested to ask Luke because the more I've listened to that podcast, it sounds like there's a good chance that J.J. might start.
Well, I thought I saw Conley say, that's his name, right?
Kevin O'Connell.
O'Connell.
Yeah.
It's Conley. Kevin O'Connell say that Sam Darnold is the best-looking quarterback so far.
I saw that, too.
To start,
I would imagine so.
But we'll see. Yeah, I'm interested to hear, but regardless, whoever's starting will be happy that they've got a left tackle to protect
Gotta
that
get
blind
that
side. So,
Yep.
blind
Good movie.
side.
All right, let's keep going.
Never watched it.
Jackson, you've never watched that movie?
No, it looked stupid. I just couldn't handle her.
Dude,
I couldn't handle
it
her
is
accent.
so tough to deal with her southern accent, man. And
Just in the
it's kind of messed up.
well,
like,
now
what they
you
did.
hear about
Yeah.
it, and you're like, well, they kind of fucked
They
him
used
over.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Like he didn't really
So
get
then
much
now
money.
I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
I don't blame you. Don't
'cause
support that.
I'm not gonna.
Yep. Watch
won't.
Gravity instead.
Yeah, Gravity.
There you go.
That's a John Mayer song. Gravity.
Oh yeah, it is. That is a wonderland. He knows that one too.
Gravity.
All right, Jack sign cornerback Tyson Campbell, 4-year deal is for $76 million and includes $53.4 million guaranteed. So
Yeah.
Yep. Smart.
There are additional
move.
incentives that can bring that contract up to 19.3, but right now he is one of the top paid cornerbacks in the league until the Broncos pay Pat Surtain. So
He's gonna get paid a
he
lot
will
of money this year.
He will be the biggest and highest paid cornerback.
He's considered the best.
Yeah, and you see everybody trashing Sauce recently? I guess some
didn't see that.
GM or somebody in the front office came out and said that Sauce is the most overrated cornerback in the league,
I totally agree.
and that you could probably call holding on about 95% of his
The fact that he
drop.
got All-Pro over L'Jarius Sneed last year just drove me.
Yeah,
It still
of course, you're
pisses
sad
me off.
about that.
But L'Jarius Sneed's better.
I know. he
Exactly.
was. But yeah, so moving on, Matthew Stafford is reporting to camp as of today, thanks to a contract reworking. He was due a $31 million base salary this season on his 4-year, $160 million deal that he signed in 2022. He does have 3 years remaining on that contract, but only $15 million of his $27 million salary in 2025, and none of his $26 million in 2026 were guaranteed. McVay didn't release what the details were, but it does probably sound like they're going to end up guaranteeing him some of that money, which is basically what happened with the next guy we're going to talk about, Mr. Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper gets a $5 million raise, and the final $20 million of the last year of his contract is now guaranteed.
So, yeah.
He deserves it, man. And remember last year he had like a 200-yard game. He had a couple huge games when
Thanks
Joe
to
Flacco
Mr.
came
Joe
in.
Flacco.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all when it came in there. Joe Flacco was just throwing it up, man.
Good old Joe Flacco, who we talked about last week. So,
Yep.
Jacoby Jones, rest in peace, man. But, yeah, so...
But yeah, other than that, training camps are kicking off, and there's a few players out there that are a little banged up that are starting out on the PUP list. It's going to be pretty exciting to see who stays healthy.
other big news, and I just remembered this. The NFL and the NFLPA had a meeting today.
Yeah.
And
There's
18 games is coming.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
I would imagine it's next year. Yep.
Maybe. I don't know if it'll be that soon. I do feel like there's going to be a little bit of pushback from the players.
Once I see that game checked, once
Well,
you get
no
one
shit,
more,
yeah.
that's when it's like, when they brought it up on PTI, they said like it's pretty much a done deal that it'll happen.
Well,
next year.
now there's only going to be one preseason game.
Yeah, and it'll basically kind of just be like what we've been expecting, where there'll be 18 games, one preseason game, one bye week that everybody gets in the same week. That's what they're hoping for, and I think that's going to be the big...
Oh, like a literal week off.
Like a literal week off. Kind of like the NBA, the MLB.
I didn't know that. I thought they were still going to be doing it. Like, you just get two, but it's kind of staggered.
This is just the proposal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we'll see. Because, I mean, that would just fix it all. Because then if not, there's going to be one team that maybe gets a late one, and then maybe a really early one, and then it just staggers everything off.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what always sucks, too, is like when the schedule's released and you've got like a week 12, week 13 bye week. And it's like, that
God,
sucks.
It takes forever to get here, man.
Especially when you're the Broncos. You're like, that doesn't help us. It doesn't matter if people are hurt or not back, in the back there.
Right.
We're screwed either way.
Yeah, it's coming regardless. It'll be next year. But yeah, that's the way it should be. I mean, pretty much every league, a different sport has an even number of games. So when you split it, that's the way it used to be.
It is dumb
16
right
games.
now when people are like, we're 11-7, or I mean, it's 10-7.
You
I can't even
remember,
do math
yeah.
right now. So it is dumb that
Throws
it's
everything
where
off.
it is, and I think we just all knew that it was going to go here eventually. I'm just surprised. I thought they were what are you doing?
I'm trying to get this cord right.
I for sure thought they were going to make it until the end of this NFLPA agreement, or the CBA agreement. I'm sorry, but it's from what happened today. It will be for sure within the next 2 years.
Yeah,
but the nice thing too, though, is we're gonna get the old national NFL holiday, because this will force them to push it back another week, which would give us the old is it Memorial Day?
No, that's in May.
President's Day.
President's Day.
Yeah, the President's Day, which nobody even knows what it's for anymore.
No, and that's really only for like people that work in banks.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody else.
we
gets
don't get that day off,
No.
man. Yeah. So like when they kept talking about that, it's like no, like 90% of the nation probably wouldn't.
Yeah,
They would
but
still
it's
have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the thoughts there, but yeah,
I think that wraps it up for the NFL, right?
Yeah, it does. Let's move into the old NBA. Let's go hard in the paint, which is what we're soft selling what it's going to be called from here on out. But also got something to talk about with this drop right here. So,
Take it roll! Take it roll! Outlet! Outlet! Rain dance!
big shout out.
Sandy! Sandy! Sandy!
It's Philip Seymour Hoffman's birthday today.
Oh no, wait, dude! You know what? When I watched that Twister movie, I totally forgot
He's in it.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was so great in that movie. He just did like a
it's
goofball.
like a little part, but yeah, it was great.
I mean, he had a lot of lines, but he just plays like one of those goofy characters, and that's just what. No, he's the
Yeah.
comedic relief of the movie.
Yeah.
R.I.P..
Yeah, R.I.P. Happy posthumous birthday. Yeah, it's just also, I saw that on the way over here today on
Well, that's
my
perfect.
Twitter feed at a
He is the
stoplight.
voice of that soundbite.
Yeah, he's also the quintessential actor of our generation, so to speak.
Pretty
But,
good.
Let's go into the NBA. LeBron still looks really good at 39 years old.
Man, he's really been tearing it up in all these exhibition games. The United States team went. It's 5-0. They went 5-0.
They went
right?
5-0,
Yep.
but the last two games they did not look good.
They won by the heel of their britches.
I think they were, you
cutting it close.
You overlook these teams. Although Germany did win the FIBA championship. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, they have like 3 or 4 NBA players. They got Franz Wagner, Dennis Schroeder, and there's another one I can't think of. But yeah,
yeah. Damn it. I just heard his name earlier, and now I can't think of it either. But yeah, Germany's no slouches by any means, so that one makes sense. The USA ends up pulling one out. They win 92-88. LeBron James outscored the entire Germany team in the fourth quarter. And in both of these games, LeBron James has pretty much been like the fire starter in the fourth
and
quarter.
The savior, yeah.
He's playing out of his mind. I don't know. I do feel like these guys are trying to act like this is like a Dream Team 2.0 or something like that. And I'm just like, it's not the same, man.
Just all I'm thinking is like, we'll just wait and see when it's real action. These are exhibition games. These teams aren't really going to show their full cards. And the USA's still trying to, gel as well. Their half-court offense is a little jammed up. They don't really have much flow there. So, we'll see whenever it gets to these real group games.
Well, it's hard when you put all these alphas on a team, and then you're like, go play team basketball now. And It's just like, well, who's in charge now? It's
Seems
basically
like
LeBron.
Yeah.
But, It's crazy how much these guys are like admiring LeBron right now. At some points, I'm like, it kind of seems like a little put on, because like they're watching him warm up, and there's like this video, and they cut to the guy, like you can see the guys are like, oh my god,
like just
and I'm
in
just
awe.
like, come on, man. But in this Germany game, James scores 8 vital points with a bunch of he had steals, rebounds, and was just basically muscling his way to making sure the U.S. won their 5th and final exhibition game. He finished with 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. But you can clearly tell that he's got, you can't knock him. He's motivated.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kevin Durant, he's on the team, I think, but he doesn't play.
Yeah, he had to sit out the first exhibition games because of a calf strain, and it is kind of nuts that the all-time Olympic scorer for the United States, he has more points in Olympic scoring than any other NBA. Like,
well, he does just pull up threes, so it makes sense.
Well, those pull up jumpers, man. He has been like last time they were in the Olympics in Tokyo. They were actually starting off a little rough, and then Kevin Durant just took over and just like was the leader for all of the games basically. And so if they get him back and he's healthy, that's going to be a really scary team.
Well, I mean, their depth compared, like, you look at Serbia, like, it's Jokic and some guys that are also named Nikola, and their last name ends with itch.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's it. Canada, Germany, Australia, I think, are the real ones that have any chance of pushing USA.
Canada has a real chance.
They're not gonna. The scary thing, Murray's not look good.
Nope.
He does not look good, and it
sign.
worries the shit out of me. But, the Nuggets got a little... We can bring this up real quick. The Nuggets got a little... it's not official yet, but Russell Westbrook is supposed to be a Nugget here. I think they had to wait.
Day,
much. They're going to probably announce it. I thought it was going to be today, but I guess they had to wait 48 hours from Sunday, which was his release, so probably tomorrow. But yeah, Russell Westbrook will be on the Nuggets, more than likely.
Playing on the bench.
Well, yeah, he might get some starting minutes, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if somebody gets injured or something.
But, yeah, to give Murray some time off since he can't stay healthy. But let's move on. Oh, well, one other thing I want to talk about, though. The other game, and this is just wild, that they almost got beat, Team USA, by Sudan.
Yeah, South Sudan.
South Sudan almost beat them. A team of refugees who, what, Chad?
Doesn't even have an indoor basketball court.
In the country. Yep. These guys are probably playing outside, and they're probably lucky if they're paved. They're probably playing on, like, dirt.
Yeah, and it's no ridicule or anything to them. It's just what they have, and they were 43.5 underdogs to the United States.
Yeah, so if you put some money on them, man, you came close to winning a to amount of change.
Yeah. But, yeah, the United States barely beat them. It's crazy. It took a last-second
layup by LeBron.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, that was on Saturday.
Speaking of, I saw a funny meme about Kevin Durant that somebody was like, anytime I'm feeling down, I just remember that Kevin Durant's feet are shaped like Olive Garden breadsticks. Have you ever seen his feet in socks?
No.
Dude, it's like this long. And they're this thin.
That's weird.
They're the skinniest feet I've ever seen, and it's like, dude, no wonder he has calf problems.
Yeah.
Look at
He probably doesn't have the feet to support it.
Yeah, it's just like
that's strange.
Yeah, it's weird, but I thought of that. And I was like, that's funny.
Kevin Durant's feet.
Yeah,
that's super weird.
I just like that they were compared to breadsticks. But let's move on to the next thing, which is huge. Nobody thought it was going to happen.
This was pretty big news. Came out today.
Yeah. TNT pulls the rug on Amazon, and they match the offer for the NBA TV rights, which is an insane amount of money. I think it's like $2.8 billion or something like that.
Yeah, something. Well, and the big thing is that would include bringing back Inside the NBA with Barkley, Shaq, and Ernie, and Kenny, of course.
Oh, $1.8 billion. Sorry. Yeah, which we all know if you watch sports as frequently as we do. In terms of pre, post, halftime shows, whatever, it is one of the best on-air sports shows.
Yeah.
They won tons of Emmys. They're hilarious. The guys have been doing it forever. But none of them said they were going to go. They all said if it's TNT or nobody, so they weren't going to go to Prime or nothing. And then, you had Charles Barkley during the playoffs there announce that he was basically retiring if like TNT was no longer to go on. But I think this has now kind of bunged up the old NBA's plan here, because we shared the other day that revenue sharing thing of where all these sports leagues are making their money, and you look at the NFL and their entire pie chart is TV.
Yep.
And then the rest is all just secondary, and the NBA is close, but it's not nearly as big as the NFL, and they're really hoping to get there, and this deal would have put them a lot closer. But the real thing is that they want to get into the streaming stuff. Like, they want... I don't know why the NFL... I mean, I get it in terms of money, but it's pissing everybody off that now we all have to, like, we saw that thing that came out when they're like, if you wanted to watch all of the NFL games this year, like, you would have to have paid like $1,300 or something like that. It's insane.
It's impossible to afford it all.
Yeah, and it's like nobody really likes it because now the streaming stuff's becoming worse than cable.
Yeah,
now they're all bundling together. And like the other day we were like, well, we're not really watching Prime anymore. Like, we should just cancel it. We can't, because Hulu and ESPN Plus are on our package, and we get those cheaper because of the package. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to get rid of
because
ESPN
is it
Prime.
with ads?
Hulu still has ads. Disney doesn't. But like, if you get the bundle, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So I was like, we should just cancel Disney Plus, because now the Acolyte's over. I'm like, we don't really need it right now.
Yeah, I can't remember what else. There's not another show coming out on Disney Plus, I think, for a good minute.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like $20.99.
Yep.
But I mean, it's just, we're just thinking
Disney
about
Plus is $20.99.
Yeah.
No, I think.
Oh, you know why? It's because it's the package. It's all included.
That's
in
what
it.
it is. Yeah,
I'm an idiot. But either way, like, it is just moving towards this whole like streaming thing, and that is what the NBA really wants, was to tie into Prime, and almost like all the NFL has right now is just the Thursday night Prime. The NBA would be like exclusively Prime.
Yeah.
Aside from the local stuff.
And that's what the thing of it is like, that's why they matched the 1.8, because it's not like Prime's going to be showing every game.
No,
it'll
but
basically
they would
take over
have,
like TNT games.
I guess with Prime though, they would have like every night there would be nationally televised games on Prime,
right,
which they don't have now. Like TNT's like what, Thursdays and like Saturdays.
It's like a 3 days a week or something like that.
So yeah, the whole thing is they want to, corner the market on it, and I get it, but yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't like it, but this is the world we live in, unfortunately.
Yep.
We're just gonna have to deal with it.
I like it. I can't stand commercials.
I know you hate commercials, but
yeah.
I mean, if you don't, you got to pay extra to not see commercials now.
Yeah, I'll do it, man. I just can't stand it.
And even then, they'll find a way to get the shit to you because your phone's listening to you. Yeah. So you get the ads either way. At this point, they'll just sneak them in on you.
Yeah,
but
it's just nuts because I think it's like better too. Like whenever I stream NFL games, like I think the quality's a lot better. Like I loved Thursday night games because of the streaming was a lot better than like whenever I would have to stream through CBS or
Yeah.
anything like that. And then even then, like how whenever I'm watching like the Chiefs on Paramount Plus and using that app rather than like when I used to like use Channel 4 or something like that, it's 1,000 times better.
Yeah, but the only thing though with streaming is it's not live TV. So like betting live stuff is hard to do because you're watching it on delay.
Yeah, like maybe like a 10-second delay.
Yeah,
or
so
something.
like you might be watching something and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna bet, the whoever wins by 6," and then all of a sudden you put the bet in, but you're behind and you didn't know that a pick 6 just happened the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that. Then there's the other side of it too. That's like when you've got satellite, like DirecTV or something like
There's
that.
a delay too.
Well, there's that, and then when there's a storm, it could just cut it out. Like
Oh, yeah,
when we
when
used to have satellite, dude. Like if it
Yeah.
was storming, you're just screwed.
Yeah, when we
Better
first moved
read
into
a
the
book.
country, yeah, it was like if there was cloud cover, you would not have TV.
But now, like when you're streaming, as long as you got internet access, you're gonna have the game.
Well, there's even stuff with DirecTV, like there's the main box, and the other boxes are off from that box. So, like, I'd be sitting downstairs when I was living with my parents, and I'd hear a home run happen upstairs, and then I'd watch the home run happen downstairs. Because there was even just that delay within the house. But, yeah, I don't know. It's what
crazy,
it is.
man.
But let's move on to golf, Chad.
All right, let's
talk
do it.
about some golf. We haven't talked about golf in a little bit. Let's do it.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your
Still
home?
mad there,
Answer me.
I won't get over it.
Why are you
I
mad?
don't know. I just am mad about it.
But it's Adam Sandler,
I
dude.
know,
It's
I
gonna
just
be
feel
good.
like it's gonna suck, and it's gonna bum me out. But
Just a negative Nancy.
I'm a realist. I'm a nihilist.
Nah, dude. What about Grown Ups 2? Grown Ups 2 was hilarious.
It was okay.
See, perfect example. Negative Nancy.
I didn't really like either of them, but
How? You're joking. You didn't like the Grown Ups movies?
not really.
That's insane.
The
Dude.
first
That
one was
so
like
funny.
okay, and then I didn't even watch the second one.
Wow.
I think I
Holy
might
shit.
have maybe seen like 10 or 15 minutes of it.
Dude,
And I
that
was like,
explains
oh,
so much. Oh my
Dude,
god.
it doesn't explain it. Don't say that. Oh, that explains so
The
much.
Grown Ups movies are hilarious.
Now I know about you. Whatever.
Everybody loves those movies.
No, they don't, dude. If you polled the whole world, I guarantee you wouldn't even be 30%.
I would love to hear those numbers.
Well, let's move on into golf.
Xander Schauffele
Yes.
won the Open.
He did it. What's his second this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wins the Open Championship at Royal Troon in Scotland. It's his second major title of the season, as I just
It
said.
took him forever to get to one, and then he already won two.
Yeah, well, and he was just one of two golfers in the field to finish round 4 on Sunday, bogey-free.
Yep.
Bogeyless.
This back nine, he golfed to 31, too,
Yeah,
man.
that's incredible.
Just went insane.
Wish I could do stuff like that. But he rose to first place on the final day after a weather-impacted finish in the third round Saturday tied him for second place. He continued on Sunday, powered on to the finish line on the back with a blistering 6-under final round. He joins Jack Nicklaus as the only golfers to record multiple final rounds of 65 or better en route to a major championship. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's 2 months after his first major championship victory. His Open win made it his the first year since 1982 that U.S. golfers claimed all 4 majors, which
Yeah.
you brought up earlier.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Xander was quoted saying, "I think winning the first one helped me out a lot today on the back nine. I had some feeling of calmness come through. It was very helpful on what has been one of the hardest back nines I've ever played in a tournament. And it didn't really show."
Yeah, that postage stamp hole, did you watch that?
Uh-uh.
It's like a par 3, and like the green is probably a little bit bigger than this room. Like
That's tiny.
Yeah, it's like you have to nail it perfectly, and all of them were saying that the greens were just so unforgiving. They were rolling off all over the place. But yeah, it's good for Schauffele as he wins now his second. It was pretty good. I watched a good chunk of the Sunday, the final round. It is always cool watching those like sweet golf courses. And just,
man,
like, being like, I couldn't imagine playing there.
That's
and then
great.
you like look at how much it would cost to play there, and you're like, I'll never play there in my life.
Yeah,
They're
unbelievable.
like $1,200 for a round and stuff like that.
Or like
dude.
most times where it's got to be a membership and it's like $200,000
yeah,
a
you just-
year.
yeah, you got to pay a yearly insane membership to go golf.
Yep. It's
But
insane.
yeah, I mean, golf in general is expensive, but you know.
But yeah, this comes after he won the Olympic gold medal 3 years ago in Tokyo. So ever since then, he started to golf a lot better. He came into this year with 11 top 10 wins, and he's just on a roll this year. Already got 2 majors. So if he wins the gold again here in these Summer Olympics, you're looking at possibly getting Player of the Year.
yeah, it's either going to be him or Scheffler.
Yeah, it's definitely
especially-
one of them two.
Scheffler, I think, is probably in the lead. But if Schauffele can get another top 10 finish or win another one, he's going to be pretty
They're
much
really going to be neck
guaranteed.
and neck.
Other news, and this has to do with the shirt I'm wearing. Friday Beers, you're going to be a sponsor soon. We're going to talk it into fruition. John Daly Jr. qualified for the U.S. Amateur at Hazeltine yesterday after he
yeah.
carded a 2-under-68 at the Dallas Brook Hollow Golf Club and survived a 5-for-4 playoff to qualify for the U.S. Amateur at the famed Minnesota venue.
Sweet.
So, good for him. We're going to be reaching out to him to try and get him on for episode 100 or to get to his father. Because if we could do anything, it would be to get John Daly on this podcast for episode 100. So you heard that here, John Daly. Episode 100. 7 weeks.
Come on.
Just make it happen.
Just do it, John.
Do it, John.
Yep.
I got a shirt. We've had a segment dedicated to you for 93 straight episodes.
Yep.
Almost a year and a half worth right now. So let's make it happen, John. But that wraps it up for a golf. Where should we go, Chad?
You want to hit the musical break and then we'll hit F1?
You want to do the musical break right now? Or do you want to do F1 musical break and then call Luke?
That sounds good. Let's go with that.
All right, let's do F1. Let's do it. Let's hear some cars zooming. Zooming fast. It was definitely an eventful race this weekend, the Hungarian Grand Prix. There was a lot going on, and the biggest thing was Max Verstappen didn't win.
He went airborne.
He did go airborne.
Yeah.
Almost, I'm surprised he was even able to finish the race.
Yeah, same here.
Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, the McLaren team, sit atop the podium at 1 and 2. They had a hell of a race this week. A lot of this had to do with the start was weird. Lando ended up pushing Max off the track. The FIA decided otherwise. They said Max didn't allow him to make a move. He ended up having to give second place back to Lando Norris as Piastri was leading at the time. The tire combos and pit strategies also, again, this week were huge. If you could tell when the race started that most teams had one or two strategies, and it ended up, it was what made the race what it was, basically, because at the end of the race, you had Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri having to take a pit stop, and from that, Piastri ends up coming out behind Lando Norris, and it actually turned a little point of contention because for some reason, and a lot of people still aren't sure as to why McLaren wanted Piastri to finish ahead of Lando Norris, but it comes on the radio that they want to let him concede the position to the Oscar, and there's radio silence. He does not agree with the strategy. Ends up going like 2 or 3 laps. And then he starts bitching about, the fact that if this was the strategy, we should have handled it differently. Basically saying stuff like, I'm faster than him. Basically saying if he wants the position, come and take it.
Wow.
But he did end up letting Piastri take the lead on lap 68. There is also more radio issues. As we mentioned earlier, Max Verstappen jumps over Lewis Hamilton's front tire, and the crew was not happy with him. Basically, he ended up getting called childish at one point for his actions. He was bitching the whole race. I think something else is going on. There was a thing that came out last race when he finished 5th that he was dealing with vision problems from a crash that happened 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he's withheld it. And it kind of turned into a thing like, is this an issue that he wasn't, disclosing medical problems, and like, should he have been racing and stuff like that? I guess he was dealing with blurred vision during that last race. And it does kind of seem like maybe he's dealing with a concussion or something. I don't know.
And maybe
because he was being a dick all day, dude. Like, just bitching about everything.
It's not out of his personality.
It isn't, but I was like, it's bad. And I think it is because he has been kind of proven to be mortal this season.
Yeah. This is the first time he's gone 3 races in a row without winning since 2021.
Yeah, great point.
Yep.
They're struggling. McLaren is now looking like the team to beat. And now when you look at Las Vegas, they also think that is the case, as McLaren is now the favorite to win the Constructors' Championship at -140, and Red Bull is now sitting at +110.
Let's just give you an update on the points.
Let them know, Chad.
All right. Red Bull leading at 389. And for the first time in a long time, we see McLaren up just right under him at 338.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, we were talking about this before we got going, it's Sergio Perez is what's killing them, because the only person getting them points this season is Max Verstappen.
Yep.
Again, this week, Sergio Perez wrecked in qualifying and was forced to start, I think, in like 15th position.
He did finish with 6 points.
Yeah, he ends up getting points, but still, like, he's had to fight and claw for everything he's gotten, and it is not working out well for him. I do think you could see him for sure being let go at the end of this season. And who knows now with what's going on over at McLaren, is Lando going to want to stick around? Because I would be pretty pissed if I'm having the best season of my career and you had to,
forfeit the
position, which it's happened before. Sebastian Vettel had a big thing where he basically told Ferrari he's just like, I'm not doing it, and ended up winning the race, and it caused a whole bunch of stuff. There's been stuff with the team strategies are strange. It causes a lot of contention just between the two drivers, because at the end of the day, your goal is to win the race no matter what for you. But then the team's like, no, you gotta not win right now.
Like, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, no, I'm the one on the track. Yeah. I'm the one in the car.
Why do I have to let him win? Tell him to beat me. Which is exactly what happened with McLaren. So we could see maybe some fractures happening in the McLaren paddock, because I don't know if Lando's going to keep around if his best interest isn't in the team's best interest. And it did kind of seem like this weekend that they put Piastri on a different pedestal.
Well, it says it all when you see the picture of them on the podium. They're both holding the trophy, and Lando just looks so disappointed.
Well, then afterwards, if you watch, Lando sprayed everybody with the champagne but Oscar. Like, he cracked his thing and just walked away from Oscar, and then Oscar came over and sprayed him. And
shit, that's awkward.
Okay, so
that's hilarious.
But so
wow. F1. Well, then next week, Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium GP this weekend. The race is Sunday at 7 a.m. Another early one, so set your alarms. One other thing before we move on, there was a little bit of news today in F1 as the FIA decides to keep the 10-place point system, which is how it is right now, where the top 10 finishers end up with points. Teams and fans had been pushing for them to go to the top 12. Just to make things a little bit more fair and also give some of the mid-level teams chances to compete, but they decided against it today. So things are staying the same, but
cutting it off at 10.
Cutting it off at 10. New cars next year though, so we'll see. Everything should get more exciting next year. But let's move on to the music break.
Let's hit it.
We'll hit it and we'll see where we're at, because we're going to be a little early, but
we can come back and probably cover UFC real quick before we get to that.
Let's do that. All right. Well,
cool.
The music break this week is still the Soap Girls, and the name of this song is Heart in Bloom. This is the last week that we will have the Soap Girls on. We greatly appreciate them letting us use their tunes. Next month, we will have Flavor from New York City. They are a sweet, it's called like Bava rock, but it's
Never heard of that.
It's
Bobber?
Bava, yeah. It's like soccer music over in
Okay.
England. It's cool. It's like you know the song Rock and Roll, dun, 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 hey,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. That it's similar to that.
All right,
it's
all
like
right.
chanty rock and roll music,
like anthem.
anthemic music. But they will be on next week. But you are about to hear "Heart in Bloom" by the Soap Girls, and we will be back shortly.
Oceans fill up the space that's keeping you from me. Sunsets become a stopwatch, I'm speeding by you. Breath stirring up the leaves and we'll stick to the air. Carried away by the tide and you struck my hair. Faces become blurry, yours remains the same. Time taking forever, counting down the days. You'll be here soon. I'll be waving at the moon, keeping my heart in bloom. I'll be waving at the through the time and distance, you and I will change. In my sleep sometimes I still whisper your name. If I close my eyes, I can see. If I feel what I want, I have what I need. You will never stay, I will always go. I count the stars to stop feeling low. You'll be here soon. I'll be waving at the moon, keeping my heart in I'll be waiting out soon,
And we are back. You just heard Soap Girls. The name of that song was Heart in Bloom. As we mentioned at the beginning of the month, we were supposed to play a show with Soap Girls. That is my band, the Born Readies. Unfortunately, though, things fell through with their visas as they are from South America, and we weren't able to play the show. It was actually supposed to happen Sunday nights, which was a big bummer. So we didn't get to do that. We were very much looking forward to it, but in the meantime, they are looking to set up another tour. So if you can, go to soapgirls.com and check out all of their stuff. You can find new music there, as well as when they are going to be on tour again. Hopefully, they are going to be on tour here again soon. Hopefully all that visa stuff got worked out. But like I said, in the meantime, go to soapgirls.com, check out all their stuff, like and follow them on all things social media, and make sure to like and follow them wherever you get your music. And also, if you haven't yet, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. And, share everything we put out, because we've been putting out a ton of content, and we want everybody in the world to see it, because we need more of you. And by you, I mean the listeners. Don't mind me as I just keep rambling, because Chad is gone to the bathroom, and it's just me now, and I'm scared. Juno just entered the room, and she's now leaving. But, yes, so like I said, the next month's music guest will be Flavor out of New York City. Make sure to go and check them out as well, because we are going to have them on for the next month, and that is leading up to our show with them, which I believe is September 3rd. It's a Wednesday. It's a school night. It's a bummer, but it's never too late to rock and roll, as I say. So make sure to, if you're in the Denver area, be on the lookout for that show coming. Chad just entered the room again, and I am no longer alone. Which is nice, because I've been talking.
And I'm back.
And Chad's back.
Sorry.
And he's back.
Okay.
All right.
Let's continue this. We've got about 4 minutes. I think we can cover that before we call him. What
Let's
do you think?
do it. I'm going to let Chad take you to the UFC real quick.
Let's go.
Wait. Hold on. God damn it. Hold on. Just keep
button.
holding. Just keep holding. Just keep holding. Just keep holding. One more second. Keep holding. There it is.
Okay.
Let's get it on!
Got to have that.
We got to have it.
It is UFC 304 this weekend in England, and they're doing that
Bloody old
because
England.
there's 2 title fights that are held by English fighters, Leon Edwards and Tom Aspinall. So it's a pretty exciting fight. We also got Paddy Pimblett on the card too. He's going to be fighting Bobby Green. It's an exciting one. He's also another British guy.
That's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Leon Edwards favored at minus 235 versus Bilal Muhammad at plus 180. This to me is this is the main event. This is a very exciting fight because I think it's really 2 evenly matched fighters, and it's their second time fighting. If you remember their first time fighting, it was kind of ruled a no contest because Leon Edwards accidentally caught Bilal in the eye, and Bilal was distraught. He was like screaming and writhing in pain, and Herb Dean stopped the fight, and so that's how that ended. And he's been trying to get a rematch with Leon for quite a while. I believe it's like 2.5, almost 3 years. And finally it's going to happen. So I think Bilal is really motivated to try to prove what would have happened in that fight. And it's one of those where you got the striking of Leon Edwards and then the wrestling of Bilal Muhammad. Now, Khabib Nurmagomedov has been helping Bilal Muhammad on what it takes to beat Leon Edwards. I've always said I don't bet against Dagestani fighters, even though he's not the one fighting. Even if they're the coach in the corner, that's who I'm putting my money on. I'm taking Bilal Muhammad as the underdog.
Okay. I could see it. We could also see another head kick heard around the world.
It's true.
You never know. Did you see that training video of all those guys, all those Dagestani guys and other guys running around?
Yeah.
And it was one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely disgusting.
These guys there was probably 30 or 40 guys in there, and it literally looked like they
pool.
sprayed water in there, and it was sweat, and they were running and like sliding in it, and like it was so. I was like, Ew.
Dude, that's staph infection everywhere.
Ew, that's how you
Yeah.
get ringworm.
It's nuts.
I got ringworm once.
Ew.
The one time I wrestled in 7th grade, I got fucking ringworm.
the one time. Wow.
Yeah, well, I wrestled in 7th grade for the middle school.
Yeah.
Got fucking ringworm.
That's that. Everybody
And we
that's
even
wrestlers, they
washed
always
the
get it.
mats at the end of the
Yeah, it doesn't
wrestling,
matter,
yeah.
man. It's just
You're
like
gonna-
it's almost
gross.
inevitable. Well, we only got one more minute, so
Oh,
let
shit.
me just
Go,
finish
go,
this
go,
up.
go, go, go.
Tom Aspinall for the co-main event. He is now, because of John Jones's injury, he is the sole owner of the heavyweight title, and he's going to be taking on Curtis Blades, who fights out of Denver. You know that?
Yeah.
Fights out of Denver. He's coming in as a heavy underdog at plus 300. And over the last 18 months since he's come here and trained at Team Elevation here in Denver, his career's totally turned around.
Yeah.
He's been on like a 4-fight win streak.
Knocking dudes out.
Yeah, his fighting style has completely changed up. He's a lot more technical with his takedowns and his level changes. But this is Tom Aspinall, who is a guy that's like a soldier that's been built for fighting ever since he was 8 years old. If you remember, callback here, we did Tom Aspinall's dad as the DDOE way back, maybe like, I don't know, 30, 40 episodes ago.
I don't even remember that.
Yep,
And I'm on
yeah.
the show. So
Yeah, well, it's a thing. And it's because he dedicated his title to his dad after he won the title.
Now I remember.
Yep.
Now I remember. Well, if Vegas heard what he's doing to his knuckles,
Yeah.
did you hear about that?
Put him in petroleum.
Yeah, he's soaking them
And what they call petrol.
petrol,
That's what
which
they
I
call
think
gasoline.
is gas.
It's
He's
just gas.
soaking them in gas when the sun comes up. What the sun coming up?
I don't know.
It was mentioned.
sounds
in
like
there.
witchcraft.
Yeah, he's
It
like, I'm
does.
soaking it when the sun comes up, and I'm just like, that's weird. Never heard of that. I
His
don't
dad
think
was
it's
one
also
of-
good to be soaking. Your skin
No,
in
no,
gas,
definitely
but
not. That's corrosive as fuck. It's going to make him hard as hell, though, and probably
Yeah.
callous.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Hardest knuckles in the UFC.
Tom Aspinall is a guy, if nobody knows his backstory, he has been in fighting in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, I mean, ever since he was like 8 years old. His dad was one of the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts in England. I think he was the
remember
third
this now,
one.
yeah.
Yep. I mean, his dad is just like a complete martial artist, like legend, and he's just raised Tom up in it, and Tom has like embraced it, and it's impossible to bet against him. You
Yeah.
know, I'm taking Tom all the way.
Yeah, it does seem like that is the best bet,
Yep.
if you will.
But it should be a good card. Check it out. Even though it is in England, they do cater to the United States. It will be
like
starting
3
at,
or 3 p.m. or something like that.
no, it's still starting at the regular time because they're catering to the United States.
So it's gonna be at like 5 is when like the prelims start.
The prelims will start at 4. The early prelims start at 4. Then the prelims will start at 6, and then the main card starts at 8.
Which is like 4 o'clock in the morning. Over.
Yeah, for real. It's pretty fucked up that they do that to him.
Yeah,
but, you know,
well,
America
win
first.
a war,
Yep. We did win the Revolutionary War. No big deal.
No big deal. All right, so we are going to call our guest as we are
get him
running
on.
a minute behind right now, but it's, I'm not scared.
I hope he tolerates us.
He better, so let's give him a jingle jangle. Breathe it out. I can do this.
You got his number?
Please leave your message for 95233450889.
Let me make sure that's the correct number, but I'm pretty sure that's what I got.
All right.
He might have like outside numbers blocked, so just let him know we're calling him.
Yep. Let me just hit him up right now.
It's okay, this was what happens with live radio
Yep,
sometimes.
this is just live.
Oh wait, where'd the number go? I want to see who I just called.
Let's see. I know he gave us his number a few weeks back. Yeah, is it a
952
Oh, don't
33
say it on the air.
Yeah. That's what it starts with. Yeah, so
Yep.
we know.
Then so that's the number that I got here too.
Oh wait.
I just messaged him. We'll see what's up.
Okay, try it again. Here we go.
If he doesn't answer, we'll just get into something else until we hear back.
Yeah.
Please leave your message for 95233450889.
Okay. Well,
All right. Hit the soundbite for MLB, and then I'll text him right now and say
Okay,
it just
let's
keeps
do it.
going to voicemail.
Braun, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut.
Gonna light your ass up, meat.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
You just said great. So, I don't know. Let me ask, do you have your unknown callers silent?
Do 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 do.
We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna get him on.
We're gonna get him on eventually.
Yeah,
You know?
He is answering us. So, he said
Tell
try
him to
again.
send the number again.
I didn't get a missed call or anything. Can you send the number again to confirm we have the right now?
Try one more time.
I'm going to send this number that he sent to us back and see if that's the right one.
Please leave your...
Son of a... This is the bonus of trying to call people.
Yep, this is live, guys.
Yeah. This is what happens, and, you know... You
Bear with us.
You can't win all the time, you know?
We're going to make it happen.
Ooh, watch, he sent us the wrong number. That's the one, yeah. Let me see if I can do that. Can I text?
Can we send him our number and have him call us?
Yeah. Hold on a second, though. Let's do this, though.
Because since we're calling from Google Voice, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Just give him our number.
Do
you not have it?
No, I don't have it saved.
Well, if you guys want our number, I'm going to put it out there, because you can call us if we're on the air. We'll answer, maybe. Although, if it gets annoying, we won't. But if there's enough of you calling us, by all means. All right, here we go. So, in case you're wondering, everybody, our number is 720
Okay.
441 5116.
All right.
I'm also going to text him to see.
Totally going to be worth it. I know it. Let's hope he calls and then it'll just go through. Because I'm almost sure somebody's called us before and we've made that happen.
Yeah, because there was one time, I forget who it was, if it was Farzine or somebody, but they had to call us back.
I think that was Farzine.
You know, people, spam. We're probably considered spam, you know?
I got a good feeling. It's going to work.
There we go. Look at that.
That's why you got to be positive.
Call from
Luke.
To accept, press 1.
Hello.
Hello.
Luke, what's up, man? You've got Chris Zane here and
Chad Lee. Thanks for calling us, man.
Yeah, glad we could get that figured out.
Yeah, no, it's, little technical difficulties here and there never stop.
Yeah, we use a Google Voice number, so that maybe that could have been that. Who knows?
I do the same thing with interviews that can't get on StreamYard.
Oh yeah,
like old people.
Yeah. So we made it. You're here. We appreciate you coming on with us. So if you could, man, we kind of gave you a little bit of a rundown. Just kind of give our listeners a rundown of how you got into all of this.
Sure. Yeah. So a long time ago, and by a long time ago, I mean about 2016, I started blogging with a website that was run by a guy that I used to post with a lot on Reddit. And I would post to the Minnesota Vikings subreddit a lot, and I would write out a lot of these big long thoughts and diatribes, and I was like, these should just be articles.
Yeah.
This guy was starting a website, so I was like, hey, all right, for your website? And he was like, wait, you want to write for my website? Oh my God. It's a tiny little website, right? This guy just started it. His name was Joe Johnson. He's passed away since. But he was kind of where I got my start. We wrote together for a couple of years. We built up that website. And then through that, Locked On found me and said, we've got an opening for our Locked On Vikings show. Do you want to do it? Here's the deal. And so we kind of got into that. That's kind of how I've been doing this. But I was born in Minnesota, grew up my whole childhood in Minnesota, diehard Vikings fan, whole family bleeds purple. I moved out to California. I live out here now, cover the team from a distance.
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool.
How long have you been out in California?
It'll be 14 years.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Wow.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Well, yeah, hats off to you, man, for just like, throwing it into your passion and just writing it and then, on Reddit and then they just catching an eye. That's really cool.
Yeah. It kind of went from a thing that I do because I got a little time after work and I wanted to do something to suddenly it made a little money to suddenly it made more money, and it's kind of my job now.
that's what we're hoping for,
Exactly. True inspiration there, sir.
Well, it'll take most of a decade, so good luck.
Oh, well, thanks for making me feel good about it. we're almost 2 years in, so we got a little
another
ways to
8 years to go. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Definitely been interested on getting a Vikings insider on, and after listening to some Locked On Vikings episode, I'm glad we got you on. They've had a very exciting offseason. The draft.
A lot of things have happened.
Yes. Yeah. So let's get into it. So to start it off, going into training camp, let's give me your take. Who do you think is going to win the starting job for week 1, McCarthy or Sam Darnold?
The team has been pretty clear that Sam Darnold is the week 1 starter until otherwise noted.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is currently running with the third team. He is in incubation mode. They pulled apart his mechanics. He is a work in progress. He's a car up on its bricks right now. So no expectations for him right now. I think the hope is that he eventually gets in as the starter. And the question becomes, will that be because Sam Darnold throws so many interceptions, you get sick of him, you pull him, you got to put somebody else in, or because you have this day where you're like, okay, the rookie is ready, it's time, let's go. The latter is what they're hoping for, but there is, I would be surprised to see even them splitting first-team reps or having like a true formal competition at all. I think it is the way that they've set this up is it is Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy is the future.
So, in your honest opinion, do you think we could see a situation where, week 6, week 7, we could see J.J. McCarthy, or do you think they're really going to sit him down and just see what happens with Sam Darnold?
I would say, the over-under is week 7.
Yeah.
But there is – it kind of depends on how he takes to the stuff that they're teaching him. If you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/luke.
Nice plug.
And find if you go there, you can find some of what we saw from J.J. McCarthy from just the OTA videos that have been put on social media. And I actually went over that with somebody who's really embedded in the QB training community, who knows every tiny little thing about QB mechanics, and helped me to understand what's different between what we saw at Michigan and what we're seeing now mechanically. The things that they're having him do differently and why they would be having him do those things, it's a lot of stuff. They're really changing a lot, and that's Kevin O'Connell being a former quarterback, having a vision for this. So it's very important, and O'Connell has said this outright. I'm not reporting anything or speculating. This is their point. It's really important not to rush that. So if it's not by week 7 or week 9 or week 10, nobody's panicking. It just takes as long as it takes. Might take all year. And then we'll see him next year.
Yeah,
that also is an outcome the Vikings are totally fine with. But if I had to set an over-under, it'd be 7.5 games.
Okay, that's fair.
It's smart. You look what happened with Jordan Love. He sat a whole year. Maybe 2 years, I think, wasn't it? Even longer, I think.
3.
Yeah,
it was
quite a while.
It was the end of his rookie contract.
Yep.
He's about to get paid.
Yeah, he's waiting to get paid now. He's holding out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a good thing. They did it with Patrick Mahomes. Give these guys a chance to learn instead of throwing it into the fire. I think that's smart. So, yeah, I'll be excited to see because I know Sam Darnold's going to be really motivated. He's had a lot of experience under his belt already.
Yeah, and I think this is a great opportunity for him because he took a step forward in San Francisco. Everybody could see it when he did get in for San. They didn't do it a lot, but when he did get in, everybody could see he took a step forward. And I think that for him, he's excited to showcase that. In Minnesota, I think the relationship is very clear on both sides. Both sides understand that this is a bridge, that you're here to kind of, keep the seat warm until the rookie is ready, and Sam Darnold understands that. But in the meantime, for him, it's a chance to audition. He's not getting re-signed unless things get very weird.
Yeah.
But he's hitting free agency next year, and this is the tape that people are going to be scouting when they're deciding how much money to give him. There's a lot on the line for him.
It's true.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of I'm a Broncos fan, but a lot of people were thinking that Sam Darnold might end up with the Broncos there for a little bit, and there's part of me that was like, after when I saw in San Fran, like, I wouldn't be mad about it, especially with what the plans were.
Who's the bridge right now in Denver? Or is it just,
it's technically Jarrett Stidham, but we also don't forget we got Zach Wilson, the MILF Slayer.
Okay, that's who it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bo Nix, but I think one of those is getting cut for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not surprised that J.J. McCarthy does have a little bit of incubating to do, as you put it, because I mean, you just look at his last year at Michigan. It was a run-based offense, like, primarily. So, like, he didn't do a lot of, drop-back passing and stuff. A lot of it was game managing and getting the ball into the running back's hands. So, it makes sense that they're taking their time with him. It's not like Bo Nix where he has 60 games in college football starting, Like, he's basically got, like, half a career in the NFL and just college. So, it's not the same situation, but... I'm excited to see what happens. I definitely think they got a really good quarterback. It's also cool, Michigan to, Minnesota.
Not far away.
Not far away. Stay in the same
Michigan,
area.
Detroit people are a little conflicted. and we had a Michigan State guy for the last 6 years, too. So
that's true. Good old Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I mean, how did you feel about him leaving? Were you... I mean, I guess I've never really gotten a Vikings fan's perspective. Like, how did you feel about it?
It super depends on who you ask. So, polarizing figure in Minnesota, for sure. Because he always had good enough stats to make you believe that he was a good quarterback. You could always make an argument he's the top 10 quarterback. You don't just move on from a top 10 quarterback. But there was always some caveat to it, that there would be a 3-interception game, that there would be some, like, total meltdown with the season on the line. The Vikings made the playoffs twice in his 6 years here. And in the 4 years that they didn't make the playoffs, they were close in all of them. And there was always one game, week 17, 16, 18, kind of near the end, where it was win or go home, and he would, like, tighten up, and the offense would go anemic, and they would lose.
Yeah.
Or you would have a game early in the season where he's going too crazy, and he would, hold the ball for too long and give up strip sacks that were just on him holding the ball too long, or throw stupid interceptions. He threw an interception in Buffalo once because he literally threw to the wrong color. He saw color out of the corner of his eye, and he was like, yeah, I thought that was my guy, and it wasn't. He literally admitted that. Crazy guy. And
you don't admit that.
Things got weirdly political in COVID and stuff, so that made everybody get really crazy about it. So it depends on who you ask. If you're asking me, I've been a bit of a hater.
Okay.
I think that he is good, but I don't think that he ever will make a deep playoff run. I don't think that he can be consistent enough for that. To make a deep playoff run, you have to win 4 games in a row against good teams.
Yeah.
Or get a bye, which probably means you had to win 4 in a row anyways to have that good of a record. You have to win 4 in a row. Kirk Cousins, I think twice ever, had that long of a winning streak, and I don't see him capable of doing that on demand. I don't see him going through 4 games without having some kind of piss down your leg meltdown.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even realize that. He hasn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, and then he had that really bad streak in primetime games as well, where he couldn't win in primetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of an overplayed narrative. I think that's more just randomness, and we're trying to put a pattern on it. And also, in a lot of those games, they weren't his fault. But you kind of have to. He's a game-to-game guy. He was a week-to-week proposition, so you have to ask, okay, what week are we talking about here?
Yeah, definitely. I don't blame you one bit. You gotta, if you want to be great, you gotta have greatness, and he's just right at the prime meridian of just a little bit above average. So I totally agree. Let's get to the defense. The Vikings took Dallas Turner. I mean, this guy's a total stud to replace Danielle Hunter. How big of an impact do you think he's going to make that rookie year? Because you guys have that defensive tackle that you guys just re-signed. I think that defensive line is going to be really good. Do you think Dallas Turner comes in and makes a big splash like Micah Parsons?
I don't know what tackle you're talking about, but the Harrison Phillips is their only notable D tackle. He's on a contract here, actually. But Yeah, Dallas Turner. So they're pretty excited about Dallas Turner, actually. He showed out a little bit in OTAs. Now, there's no pads there, so it's really hard to put any stock into that. But for whatever it's worth, everybody says that they're very excited. Kind of crazy that they ended up with him. It was a weird draft. He didn't get any defensive players till pick 14, and then suddenly he was in striking distance. Get this guy that was supposed that people were talking about. You know, hey, if you took him top 5, it would be defensible. Also, right now, Andrew Van Ginkel, one of their premier free agent people. I shouldn't say premier because he's probably he's on a 2-year deal and he's a little bit more of a role player, but he's hurt. And so Dallas Turner's getting all the first team reps. And if Van Ginkel continues to be hurt into the season, we could see Dallas Turner right away. And he could really hit the ground running, kind of make good on that opportunity. And it sounds like he's done everything he's supposed to up to this point. But obviously, as a rookie, it's tough. Tough to know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I can't really remember which defensive tackle I was talking about there. I could have.
Well, I mean, they signed 2 in free agency.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
It was
of.
Jonathan Bullard, and then what was the other one I just saw? Jerry Tillery, but Jerry Tillery came from somewhere.
All right. Well, I mean, if Dallas Turner can perform anything like he did at Alabama, I think it's going to make a big impact on that defense. Because I mean, that guy was.
It'll be a rotation with Flores too. You know, you've got Van Ginkel when he's healthy, and then Jonathan Grenard's probably the biggest free agent signing from Houston, who's probably going to be the main event on the pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
The pass rushes will be designed to get him the one-on-ones. And then we'll see if people start giving him attention, then that's when Dallas Turner can come alive as well. But you're not going to see, like a Madden style, here's my 2 starters and here's a backup. It's going to rotate a lot. Guys are going to come in and out. And that's how it should be on the D-line. Those guys got to stay fresh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's switch back over to the offense real quick. Last year, this offense was very, very pass-heavy with, Kirko Chains, as they call him. He's now in Atlanta. Do you think... with them only having 56 total passes thrown in the fourth quarter last season, do you think the addition of Aaron Jones, do you think they're going to go full run heavy, especially with Sam Darnold behind, center?
I could see more. If it's a fantasy question, I would be hesitant because Kevin O'Connell is not a run game guy.
Mm-mm.
He has never really prioritized it as anything more than a goal line package and setting up for play action. So you've never gotten the volume. But that might be good for Aaron Jones, who, health is an issue. He's getting older. Like maybe a lighter workload for running backs in general is better. But I'm excited. I mean, everybody's really stoked on Aaron Jones. It doesn't look like he's lost a step at all. It's a matter of longevity, right? We'll see how that feels in December when it's cold and you get hit. But
yeah,
it's still a team with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on it. That's it's going to be, and it's still a team head coached by a former quarterback. I think they're going to keep throwing the ball.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I think I heard on one of you guys' most recent podcasts that TJ Hawkinson's probably going to start out on IR instead of the PUP list, so you'll be without him due to that ACL injury.
Yeah, that actually got that's different. So that was the report at the time, but Kevin O'Connell actually came in front of the media yesterday and said that it will be PUP.
It will be PUP. Wow.
Oh,
okay.
cool.
It will be PUP. Yeah.
Nice.
That is surprising
so
with how late
the first
that
4
one
games
happened.
at least, but that gives you a pretty specific sense of when they expect him back, somewhere around the 6th-ish, 7th-ish game. Kind of around when you think maybe J.J. McCarthy will come in.
That'd be a nice weapon to get back right then for
Hawkinson's
a rookie quarterback.
He's reliable. He's a good tight end. Who do you guys have instead? Who's going to be playing instead of him during those games? I can't remember.
Great question. Yeah, you don't know who it is. So last year, after Hawkinson went down, the configuration was actually Johnny Munt took that, who is a holdover tight end 3 from the 2021 Rams team that O'Connell won the Super Bowl with, who's now playing here. And he's a decent kind of just a guy tight end.
Okay.
The best player in that room is Josh Oliver, but he's mostly a blocker. So that might still be in a primarily blocking role. And then Johnny Munt does the kind of is actually the one subbing in for TJ Hawkinson, and Josh Oliver still only comes out in 12 personnel. But Josh Oliver might be a little underrated as a receiver too, and they might just say, nah, you're just the tight end, and now our tight end is just a really good blocker. That's not so bad a thing.
No. And I mean, it's important because you're going to have Justin Jefferson getting double covered a lot, so those tight ends are going to have to be try to get open, yeah, especially over the middle.
Yeah, I mean that's always how it goes.
Yeah. You got anything else, Chris?
I don't have any more questions at the moment, man, but I just want to let you know we do greatly appreciate your time. I don't want to keep you too long. We value your time.
I got one more if he's got time.
Yeah, hit me.
Go for it.
Well, I'm sure you've been watching it. Receiver's out, and one of your top receivers is on there. Have you been watching the receiver?
Yeah, I watched through the parts with him in it, and then I kind of got – so here's the thing with my thing with these shows. It was with quarterback too. Phenomenal show at the beginning when you're really getting an inside look at how these guys have to work every day and how their personalities are, and it feels a little bit kind of hair let down as opposed to Hard Knocks, which is so curated now, and press conferences and media and stuff where everybody knows that there's a camera on them. It feels like they did a good job of getting these guys to open up, and then later in the season it turns into a highlight show, and it's, hey, remember what happened in this game against Buffalo? That is. That's my critique of it. So I kind of got bored at the end, especially once Justin Jefferson was done. It's like, I know what happened.
That is the bummer thing.
Highlight recap.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were going to do it episode by episode with different receivers. That was what threw me off. I was like, I thought it was going to be like every show was
a
all
little
the
bit
receivers. Then it was like very.
I kind of get it because it's a lot of people to spread out 50 minutes between. I like the idea of focusing, but. For me too, there was a lot of rumor and conjecture about Justin Jefferson and his contract and how contentious that negotiation was. And I think that they made a point, and I have a feeling Justin Jefferson wanted this point made, to sort of rebuke the real bad rumors that were out there, the rumor that he was going to sandbag his injury and try not to come back. Because he wants his contract.
That's a good point.
I think he was a little personally insulted by that, and you could tell the show had made a point to refute that. He was always happy-go-lucky with even when they did, banter about the contract. Even if there was a jab, it was a joke and it was funny, and everybody was having a good time. And everything that I had heard supports that. Everything I heard during the time supported that it was always a good time. Nobody was contentious. If anything, Justin Jefferson decided, to bet on himself, as Adam Schefter put it. Although it was also reported that he was the last one to offer a contract. He offered a contract to the Vikings and said, "I'll sign this. What do you think?" And that was the one that the Vikings said, "Let's table this until the end of the year." But also that the plan was always to pick it back up when you're back in town for OTAs and for minicamp, and we'll get it done. When you're back in town and, have a good off season, we'll talk to you then, and we'll focus on the season till then. And everyone was fine with that. And then we spent 9 months making up reasons why they wouldn't be. And I think that bugged him.
I mean, you definitely see from the show that he, was willing to. He wanted to get out there. When he was hurt, he hated it, and you clearly see that on how fervent he was when he just had to go down, and he was, he went those 8 weeks being hurt, and then that first game back got hurt again. So, yeah, I'm glad that the show did kind of refute all of those types of allegations. But man, that dude eats candy.
It's a big thing when you get hurt.
I just was watching that and I'm like, man, it's nuts. I gotta watch every calorie I put into my body.
He opens his cabinet. He's like, my mom got me all this.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids and all this. It's like, man, this ain't even fair.
Yeah, B22 again, right?
Exactly. But it's got to be nice having one.
A lot of players go through this when they get injured for the first time, when they get seriously hurt for the first time, where you can't outwork an injury. You have to be really patient and methodical about it, and it teaches you a certain patience and maturity. There are a lot of stories about kids in college that, play high school and they're fine and they're studs, and anytime they have a problem in high school, they can work about it, right? If I'm not strong enough, I can go lift weights. If I'm not fast enough, I can go work on that. If I don't have the plays down, I can study. And you can, I can pull an all-nighter studying and I can have it, right? I can outwork my problems.
Yeah.
But injury, you can't outwork, because if you try too hard, you're going to make it worse. So you have to take it really slow, and then you have to learn not to punish yourself for taking it slow, which runs counter to everything every coach has ever told you. It's a really hard lesson, and I like that they kind of that's something Jefferson has talked about a lot when he was coming off of that hamstring injury, and it was just a few weeks for him. Like imagine, tearing your ACL, you miss a whole year, and when you're that kind of guy, it can really mess you up.
Well, I just thought it was crazy. They're like, have you ever had like an injury like this before? He's like, I've never been injured before. I was like, what do you even mean?
That's insane.
Like, that is a crazy thing to say when you've been playing football most of your life, Like, I've never had a bad injury. Like, wow.
Yeah, and he was small in high school, too.
Yeah.
He's always been slim. I mean, he was just tearing it up at LSU. I'll never forget those years with Joe Burrow. I mean, it was just like a cheat code with him and Jamar Chase out there. It's not even fair. Yeah. But yeah, it's been and I'm on episode 7 right now. It's been pretty fascinating, and it's kind of nuts. We were just talking before the show, like Devontae. It's been pretty interesting. It's nuts, just kind of getting a little inside look into it. But I definitely see it's just kind of a bummer that Justin Jefferson got hurt, because it definitely puts such a damper on like a whole in-depth season like that. So I feel where you come from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look. You lose your quarterback, your season's probably kaput anyways, but it's always it's a bummer because we all love that guy a lot, and how can you not? So it's a bummer to see him go through something that you kind of don't like that much.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, man. Well, Luke, we greatly appreciate you hopping on with us. We'll let you get out of here on that. One more time, plug where everybody can find you. I mean, we know you're on the Locked On Vikings podcast, but let us know where else we can find you at.
Yeah, search out Locked On Vikings anywhere you listen to podcasts, including YouTube. You can also find my Patreon page, patreon.com/LukeBraunNFL, where I can actually do some film work. I can go a little bit more in depth into things and try to take people out of the talking heads yelling at each other sports vibe. It's not a place to go to find my opinions. It's a place to go to find me learning stuff in real time. So if you are interested in that, you can go check it out. You can also find me on Locked On NFL on Tuesday.
Awesome,
fantastic, man.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, maybe somewhere around the corner point of the season, if you aren't too busy, we can have you hop back on and chat with us for a little bit. But we greatly appreciate your time tonight, and we hope you have a great rest of your night, man.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Luke. Have a good one,
man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, we ended it.
I didn't hang up on him.
Yeah, we waited till the right time there.
Edgy trigger finger over here. I'm just like,
that was great, man.
That was great.
He's really tuned into the Vikings.
He really is. It was cool. It's always cool hearing the backstories and stuff. I don't know if that's as interesting to you guys out there, but I love hearing how people got into stuff.
Oh, big time.
The origin story, if you will.
Well, it's pretty cool how, like, the Locked On Network really is almost like this big blanket network that, like, if there's fanatics like that, they're gonna notice, and hopefully pull them up to the big leagues.
Speaking of which, we are Fringe Fanatics Locked On. So if you need a Locked On Fringe Fanatics,
I think it'd be a great idea. You know,
me too. I don't know.
Does it have to circle? I mean, why does it have to be Locked On Broncos, Locked On Chiefs? Like, why not Locked On Broncos v Chiefs? Or Locked On Chiefs v Broncos. So that's the way it should be.
I see what you're doing. All right. Well, we are a little behind the time in terms of where we're normally at. Do you want to do the DDOE and get out of here?
Yeah, I think we'll have to scrap MLB tonight.
All right, we'll start with MLB next week or something. We're going to get it out of the way.
We're right back from the All-Star break, so we'll have a little more content.
Before we move on, though, big shout-out in terms of MLB to Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Jim Leland for being inaugurated and inducted into – inaugurated is the wrong word – inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame out there in Cooperstown.
Oh, so. Big hats off to Todd Helton, because I think he's only the second Rockies player inducted, right?
Yeah, him and Larry Watt.
Andres Galarraga didn't make it? I guess not. Yeah. Big Cat.
The Big Cat. Okay. No, so Todd Helton is the second only Rocky to have played his entire career for the Rockies, and Joe Mauer also retires, and he also played his entire career for the Twins.
Yep.
So good for them.
Good catcher.
Let's move on to the DDOE. As always, this man right here, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. John Daly.
Let's hit it.
Is going to hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man.
Far.
No laying up.
Check this one. I got an article pulled up.
You do? I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Researching.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of every episode, we like to grip it, rip it, sip it, and hit it hard, as the man of the hour, Mr. John Daly, does every single time. And this week, we are featuring Mr. Mason Miller, which, if you don't know his story, this man would not be a big leaguer if it wasn't for a failed drug test.
I don't know about that.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, this was back when Miller played Division III ball at Waynesburg University. This is coming from The Athletic. If you want to catch this article, it's also a New York Times Athletic article. I didn't know they were in cahoots. But so a school 50 miles south of Pittsburgh. Miller was a local kid with a decent arm. He landed a finance internship at a local hospital. He was required a drug screen that was flagged as diluted. When he objected, it turns out that there was two possibilities in play, and neither is good. Either Miller had a diluted sample in an attempt to manipulate the outcome test, or he had dangerously high blood sugar. Whoa. Turns out it was the latter of the two. He ended up being admitted to Children's Hospital, and that's where they found out that he had type 1 diabetes.
Damn, good thing he had that drug test.
He always, leading up to that, had trouble putting on weight and all this stuff, and he never knew why, and it wasn't until this diabetes diagnosis that he was able to get his blood sugar under control and actually start putting on weight. I think he ended up putting on like 30 pounds, and that's where he was already throwing like in the 90s, but then when he put on all that weight, that is when his career started to skyrocket, and he was put on the radar. And ended up getting into the majors.
Well, it really helped out.
Yeah, so give us the story you got real quick.
All right, this is why he is taking the DDOE trophy this week. Mason Miller continues to make history. The Oakland Athletics hard-throwing rookie closer unleashed his four-seam fastball for the world to see on Tuesday night, and he didn't disappoint. Pitching for the American League team at the All-Star Game in Arlington, Texas, Miller hit 103.6 miles per hour on his first pitch to Trey Turner, breaking the record for the fastest recorded pitch in All-Star history. Pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive, and when you look at what he's been doing as well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he's pitching out of his mind, for one. I'm trying to think here. I had an article pulled up and I just lost it, but it is looking like he could possibly be on the move as the trade deadline is approaching, because he is one of the best closers in the MLB right now. But all things coming out of the Athletics is that they are not going to trade him, but we shall see what happens, because he is doing really good. He has punched out 70 of his 150 opponents on an absurd 46.7 rate, while locking down 15 of 17 save chances. He is the most dominant reliever in the league right now, and he's got a 2.27 earned run average through 39 2/3 innings.
He did earn the victory in that All-Star game as well.
Oh, that's true. He came in and got the save. So.
Yep. As they defeated the National League 5-3. So, yeah, hats off to Mr. Mason Miller.
Yes,
people
indeed.
out there, if you're dealing with diabetes, hey, it's no big deal. You can deal with it.
Apparently, being too sweet can be a problem.
Yeah. That's right. You get that all managed, then you can go out there and throw 103 mile per hour fastballs.
Come out there and just start mowing guys down. So we'll see as the trade deadline is approaching.
He deserves to be on a good team.
Yeah, next week, July 30th is the date of the trade deadline. So keep your eyes and ears posted, as there are going to be a lot of people on the move as people try and lock down their rosters for the push through the playoffs. So big ups to Mason Miller. You are the DDOE of the week.
That's right.
And as always, we love and appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in and listens each and every week. If you haven't yet, make sure to go like, share, subscribe, and follows. Make sure to hit that notification button so you get all the updates of when we're coming at you live or otherwise.
And comment, too.
Comment, share.
Yeah, whenever we say something stupid, let us know.
Tell us
it happens a lot.
But we love you guys. We'll catch you next week.
Farewell.
Toodles.